Hi guys, and welcome to another edition of Zupo's SEO Talking Tea. Today's conversation is a little bit of a deviation. It's sort of SEO related, sort of not, but you'll see why. I think we should have a discussion about it. And it is, what is CRO, or conversion rate optimization? I think it is a very important conversation that many SEOs or companies doing SEO have to kind of face at some point, so I think it deserves a conversation. But of course, before we begin and get into this juicy topic, I want to introduce the tea we have today, which is a chrysanthemum flower tea. This has been a very, if not one of the most popular teas on our series. We bring it out a lot, and it is a chrysanthemum flower that's essentially dried. It does not have any caffeine or anything like that, but it's just dried and steeped in some water. It tastes sweet, and it's got a very flavorful flavor. And so if you when I was as a kid, we used to drink this cold as kind of like a afternoon treat. So it does kind of have a nostalgic feel for me. But let's jump into what is CRO. CRO again is conversion rate optimization. And so what conversion rate optimization is concerned about is conversion rate optimization cares about if you are receiving a certain amount of traffic to your website, how many of them are converting. So a good example of why this is important is when your site just starts out, you may not be too concerned about that. You're getting like, I don't know, 50 visitors a day. This is not something that's too concerning, but where this becomes important, and by the way, if you're wondering what I'm doing this, I don't think I steeped it for long enough, so I'm gonna steep it for a little bit longer, and that's why I poured it back in. But I digress, let's go back. So why this is important is because if you have 50 visitor days, you might not be concerned about it. But let's say your visitor count went up to 500. Then it starts to matter because let's say when you had 50 visitors a day, you were getting one conversion a day. But then now you have 500 visitors a day, you're now only getting two leads a day. Now that's a little bit unusual because if you had 50 visitors a day but one conversion, that's one out of every 50. So what is that? Times 2% conversion rate. If you had 2 out of every 500, that's a little alarming because then your conversion rate has not followed along suit with your increase in traffic. Now, conversions do not always and typically never follow traffic's ratio very well. Generally, as the more traffic you get, the conversion rates will fall. But it doesn't mean that we shouldn't focus on it. So the reason why conversion rate optimization is important is because as your site gets bigger and better and more people are coming to your website, you need to ensure that people are actually converting. So I'll use a more relatable example. Back in the day when I used to help dentists a lot, we used to help them, with online marketing. And so their conversion rate optimization, we'll focus on the phones. Most people who schedule appointments with dentists like to call first. And so when people would see us on the website, our traffic to the website would be massively higher. But then when they would call into the dentist, it was kind of out of our hands. But what we ended up figuring out was it was really important to be measuring how many phone calls the staff were taking and how many of them were new appointment calls and how many they were converting. Because then, for example, if you have a staff member who's manning the phones who's not very good at it, and they're only converting 1 out of every 10 new appointment calls, it doesn't really matter like how much we build up the traffic to your website. You will always be bleeding money at the conversion point because you're not getting enough conversions. So conversion rate optimization is all about making sure that your website is continually improving its ability to drive sales or conversions on your website. And the reason why that's important is SEO is not an end-all be-all marketing tactic. SEO is concerned about bringing traffic to your website. And many other marketing channels are very much the same. They are social media, SEO, even just network marketing. It's all about trying to drive people to you. Conversion rate optimization is all about making sure once they get there, how do you make them into a customer, right? And that's kind of why conversion rate optimization is important. Is you can do all this marketing, but at the end of the day, you need to analyze your website and see what you can do to make sure that people are converting. Because as it gets bigger, you want to make sure that the conversion rates are high, or you might be bleeding money and losing opportunities that you spent so much money to bring people to the site on anyways. So that's conversion rate optimization is very important. In other videos, I'll talk about CRO and SEO and how do they kind of relate to each other. But I just want to keep this video short to a definition. What is CRO and why is it important? So hopefully you can kind of learn a little bit about what CRO. It is a different field than SEO. I think a lot of people confuse them into one. So it is two different fields. But if you found the video valuable and you liked what you saw, please like and subscribe. I'm going to be talking about this topic a little bit more. So I hope to see you guys again soon in future videos. Thanks everybody. I'm going to go ahead and enjoy my chrysanthemum tea. And I'll see you guys soon. Thanks everybody.